I bring all this up, of course, in the face of Fed slop pushers constantly claiming Tyler Robinson confessed to killing Charlie Kirk. First, there's no evidence he confessed.
If we just look at go back to the charging documents. In the charging documents, we have that there's a Discord where basically the strongest piece of evidence that Tyler Robinson did it. We have that right there. We have the text confession back and forth with his alleged partner. We have the statements to his family. His family didn't turn him in on some concocted, made up confession. Let's also point out that we have additional chats that are outside of him and his boyfriend, right? As well as countless other people. Now, those are just the confessions. We're not talking about DNA evidence. We're not talking about surveillance evidence or anything of that nature, but just that alone. So to say that there is none and that it's concocted is really sloppy, and he's just not being honest at all.
Outside of what appear to be obviously manufactured text messages between Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs, there is no evidence of a confession. We don't know what he said to his parents. We don't know what he said to law enforcement.
This part right here is super interesting. We're not just going by the confession alone, which, by the way, I do believe the confession is legitimate. But we're not just going by the confession alone. There are other pieces of evidence that are at play that are going to go hand in hand with the confession or not, and come to a conclusion of who we believe has been found guilty of killing Tyler Robinson. So just this idea that we're running off of a confession alone, and to even try to compare it later on, he's going to try to compare it to other cases where people confess and they themselves didn't do it. But there was apparently no other evidence to those points. So the confession was the only thing. We're not going by just the confession only. There's far more pieces of data, far more pieces of evidence to walk hand in hand to put together this full picture. But I guess the question I'm wondering is, why are they working so hard to try to create this idea that there isn't evidence or that there isn't enough proof that Tyler Robinson did it? It's almost as if they want to get Tyler Robinson off. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Maybe I'm just kind of making that up. But it just seems like, wow, these people are really working hard for that. What do y'all think? Let me know.
But more than that, people confess to crimes they didn't commit. I mentioned 2 instances where a combined 6 people confessed to crimes that led to the wrongful convictions of 7 people. All 7 have one thing in common. They were wrongfully convicted on the basis of those inaccurate confessions. Worse, the confession caused the police to do their jobs poorly. In short, the police basically stopped investigating to make sure they had the actual criminals. Worse still, prosecutors then relied on the inaccurate confessions and poor police work to secure convictions that turned out to be wrong. Tyler Robinson has an advantage today none of those defendants had. He has us.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Which brings me to dreams, by the way. A dream that I had, a very vivid dream, whereupon Charlie told me that he had been betrayed. And so he's been betrayed. That's it. Loving your emails, telling me about your dreams. People in Turning Point had dreams. There was one young woman who emailed me and said, Candace, I just have to tell you, the week leading up to this, I had a very vivid dream about so-and-so at the company and 6 snakes that were around him. There was many people who dreamed, for whatever reason, the number 6 was in their dreams in terms of the weapon, whatever it was 6 that was appearing. And so I'm kind of going by a vibe that there may be 6 people who betrayed him by the end of this.
Are you stupid?
Because there was one too many dreams to that effect from people around the world. One morning, he would often, I guess, speak to Erica about how close he was with his grandfather. His grandfather had already passed. He's dating Erica, and she's getting to know him and his life and the things that matter to him. And he says that one morning, Erica wakes up and she tells him that his grandfather, who has passed and who he adored, came to her in a dream with a message. And he just thought that was quite odd. I thought that was an interesting story. It tells us a little bit about Erica because that is a psychology of sorts. It kind of reminds me of when Meghan Markle would spray Diana's perfume on to sort of attract Harry. We're learning a lot more about Erica and her psychological profile. I've been telling you guys, I have been having a lot of dreams. Pulled my children out of school. I was having this dreams and visions about bees.
He has an entire community of podcasters and researchers reviewing every scrap of evidence, running down every lead.
Get a load of this guy.
And doing the types of things that led to reversing the wrongful convictions of the defendants in the two cases we discussed tonight.
The man accused of killing Charlie Kirk was back in court today ahead of a big hearing in April where a judge will decide whether TV cameras will be allowed in future pre-trial proceedings. ABC4's Barron Wang was in court for us today. He joins us live now in the studio. Barron, what was your biggest takeaway from today?
Well, Lindsay, we really got a preview of some of the arguments the defense is going to be making in April as Robinson is hoping a judge will rule in his favor to get cameras, photography, and audio recordings out of the courtroom.
What we're talking about is releasing preliminary evidence into the public sphere that has the potential to impact jurors.
Judge Tony Graff is tasked with weighing the public's access to information about Tyler Robinson's case against concerns of his right to a fair trial. Stacey Visser, one of Robinson's attorneys, made it clear in court Friday that the defense does not want to argue this case in the court of public opinion.
It makes it harder to find impartial jurors if they are entrenched in an opinion about our client's guilt or innocence. Either way. So we don't want to be putting out evidence as the defense that will sway the public opinion.
These arguments will be made in much more depth on April 17th as Friday's court hearing focused on whether that April hearing should be closed and the defense's sealed motions. The prosecution also weighing in.
We are not media lawyers. We are not representing the interests of the media. Our client is the people of the state of Utah who do have an interest in the public nature of these proceedings.
Also in the courtroom, attorney Michael Judd, who is fighting to keep cameras in court.
So the public gains access to these proceedings.
ABC4 caught up with him after Friday's proceeding.
This isn't the first high-profile criminal proceeding. They happen in Utah. They happen all over the country. In Utah specifically, they say our presumption is that those things are open to the public, and we presume, unless proven otherwise, that there should be cameras there.
And doing the types of things that led to reversing the wrongful convictions of the defendants in the two cases we discussed tonight.
It might be me, but is this guy just conceding that he knows Tyler Robinson is going to be convicted and he's trying to poison the well, that he's only going to be convicted because of the false confession? Is that maybe what he's trying to do? Because it seems like he's already thrown in his hat that he knows he's going to be convicted, and he's trying to make the case that it's going to be a false conviction. He's not really, is not really the one. Why is he doing that, I wonder? This seems odd. Anyway, down in the comments below, let me know what you think about this. Do you think that this argument that, the confession is all we have, do you think that's valid? Have you read the charging documents? Are you going to be tapping in and watching the trial? Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thanks so much. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.